Hi guys, so if you're like me, you'll absolutely love Warhammer miniatures, and they're always bringing out new ones, like this dude here. But one thing I've always noticed is, well, they never produce enough. So yeah, as soon as it comes on sale or pre-order, it's gone within a matter of hours, if not minutes. So in this case, I'm going to have a go at making my own one of these dudes. As I don't really have many sort of Space Marines in my bits box, I've decided to buy this set, the Wrath of the Soulforged King, just because, well, it comes with loads of lovely sort of Space Marines and other bits and pieces. There's a video coming out soon where I'll be painting Azrael and the other big dude. But yeah, for this video, obviously it's got quite a few sort of, well, Terminator bits in it, as well as loads of Space Marines that I can, well, start cutting up and yeah, see just how close I can get to this this new Warhammer 40k Librarian dude that's, yeah, going to be out very soon, I believe. I'm not really very good with the dates and when things are coming out. I just know I've seen loads of pictures of this guy, lots of people talking about him, and obviously the fact that there's not going to be enough of him to go around, which always surprises me for such a large company, and knowing just how popular their products are, that yeah, they never seem to have enough of anything new that comes out. So I'm only just getting into sort of like Space Marines, and I have to admit the Terminators and possibly the Crusaders are certainly my favourite, as they kind of remind me of Paladins, because obviously I used to play Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, good old Paladins, but these ones are a bit different because they have shields and swords and blasters. So I've cut out roughly the sort of the bits that I'm kind of thinking I'm going to need. But this Librarian is kind of, well, chapterless. I guess the reason for that is they want you to be able to build him and take him into sort of whatever sort of team you are playing. So with that in mind, obviously a lot of the stuff that this dude's got on him, I need to take off. Because obviously this does represent a certain looking chapter. Well, I'm assuming, again, don't shoot me guys, I am very new when it comes to Space Marines, and I don't know anything about the lore or the chapters, or I've not read any of the books. So yeah, I am, don't use the word ignorant, but yeah, I don't know much about these dudes. But I do know that this new Librarian is very nondescript, so he can be used in, well, whatever team you're currently running. So yeah, so everything on him I'm kind of having to scrape away. Didn't take too long. Obviously this plastic is lovely and soft, so using a nice sharp scalpel, it's easy to sort of like say cut the bits away and then just scrape it nice and smooth. I was going to use these legs as they are, but then I thought, well, I like the idea of trying to get this guy to not only sort of obviously have the right bits to look like the new Librarian, I also wanted the pose to look the same as well. So with that in mind, I took his legs off, and yeah, just because I wanted to reposition them to make them look more like sort of the pose that he's got, as well as the belt wasn't quite correct on the original sort of legs, so I'm going to use the belt off this one. So yeah, lots of cutting, which I don't quite mind. It is fun cutting bits up. As you can see here, this is the first time putting one of these together, hence the reason why this thing, I'm just holding it incorrect. I'm moving it around. It's kind of like when you get the old USB and you plug it in, you pull it out, you turn it around, put it back in, and then you have to take it out and put it back in again. So it's normally 3 times. Yeah, it took me a while to sort of get these 2 bits to align. And then using the good old cement glue, I do like the thin Tamiya stuff, just because I love using the brush. Plus with these, because it's extra thin, you can put the parts together and then sort of brush it on over the top. So it just sort of seeps in, which is really, really cool. So I've got his legs kind of roughly in the position they're going to go. Obviously there are going to be gaps here and there, but that's where good old green stuff sort of comes in, and I'll be using a fair bit of that later. I'm still not very good with green stuff, must admit. I don't use it that much, but I do need to practice more with it, because obviously green stuff is awesome because you can make a whole variety of stuff with it. If you get the right sort of tools, it's very easy to sort of carve into, to shape, mould. And obviously once it hardens, you can then, well, sand it, drill it, and, well, and fine cut it again. But yeah, so for this one, obviously I just use it as a little bit of a filler, gaps here and there. So yeah, again, more scraping. There was quite a lot of scraping done in this, but say it's amazing just how smooth you can get these bits, which is really cool. So this is obviously a little bit of green stuff, just because obviously when I put the main body on, there was a little gap. And yeah, it's just easier putting some green stuff on first and then putting the body on. So with the arms, again, using the arms that have kind of come with the main sort of guy, obviously making a few sort of changes here and there. So I haven't actually got the axe that this librarian's holding, although I have seen in some people's videos or even posts and pictures that there is an axe. Well, it's the same axe, but unfortunately, to say, I don't really have many sort of bits and pieces in my bits box to do with Space Marines. I have tons of stuff to do with orcs, which is why obviously I've used a bit of an orc axe there. So the other arm, I like the idea of the other arm because obviously I can use the pose of most of the arm. I'm going to swap out the hand because obviously I don't want the hand holding a weapon, but the weapon I've just cut off, I am going to use that as well as the weapon that he has on sort of top of his arm. But yeah, guys, let me know if you guys do any sort of kit bashing, what kind of stuff you've made. Yeah, I do enjoy the kit bashing. It is fun. So I do want to get more miniatures. Well, funny enough, I have just bought quite a lot of more miniatures and some vehicles. As yeah, kit bashing is just, it's a fun part of the hobby. Especially when I say I don't really play Warhammer 40k. I only play the kill team. So obviously my kill teams are nice and small, which I love because obviously printing up or painting and making up just sort of 6 miniatures or 8 or 10 miniatures is nice and easy, and certainly a lot cheaper than playing the full version of Warhammer 40k. So yeah, so I am getting a lot of extra sort of figures here and there, which I am going to be using to kit bash into like little dioramas. So these little miniatures and things I'm making won't be used, but they are just fun to make, paint and look at. So yeah, this original gun, it looked a nice sort of shape and size for me to make it into a double bolter that's going to go on his wrist. And generally when I do sort of, well, I don't actually drill out the guns or the barrels. I like to use my scalpel just because you can get that in, a few twists here and there. And yeah, perfect little size to make, well, the gun barrel bolt wotsits. Or in this case, it looks more like a snout of a pig. And then it's simply a case of just gluing these bits together. So obviously glued the hand on, going to glue this kind of bolter thing on top. And yeah, I don't think I've done too bad a job here really. Although the one thing is with these shoulder pads, yeah, the shoulder pads that come with him are obviously very sort of detailed, which I didn't really want. I wanted some nice plain shoulder pads, but they don't fit over his arm. So again, more snipping and cutting. But again, this is where it is great because the plastic of these miniatures is nice and soft. So yeah, it's easy to cut with the scalpel, or in that case with just the snips. So I'm really pleased how this dude's coming along, and yeah, he does look quite like the librarian that you can buy. Although one thing I will say now, the paint job on this, it's definitely not one of my better ones. I am more reliant on slap chop painting, and I didn't really do much of that on this. So I printed off this little roller, again using the green stuff. I needed to make some sort of cables up, so yeah, printed these out, and yeah, nice and simple. Get the green stuff, roll it into a bit of a snake sort of looking thing, get this roller over it. I put those bits of wood on the side just to make it easier for when I do this. It sort of lines up better. Obviously the first time doing it did make a few little errors there trying to do it, but yeah, push it nice and hard, roll it several times, and then you get these funny, well, funny looking wormy wiggly wotsits. Don't know why I'm putting the thin glue over the bits to put the green stuff on, because I do end up using normal glue. Found a head. Again, I've got quite a lot of heads from these sort of Space Marines, couple of boxes that I have got. So I found one that looked sort of, again, reasonably similar to this librarian. And yeah, it was coming along fine. Although one thing here though, guys, that obviously I put these bits on, green stuff, it does dry reasonably quick, but not that quick. So those bits that I rolled out and made to look like wiggly worms with, well, bits in them, I ended up almost flattening them because they were still relatively soft. And obviously I'm manipulating this thing, pushing it around, prodding it, and yeah, I kind of flattened it a little bit. So I should have left the green stuff a lot longer to dry. So this guy has loads of skulls on him. So I've got a big box of skulls, and even though these skulls are teeny tiny, especially when it comes to me trying to shave off the front of them, some of the skulls are probably a little bit big for this miniature. So whilst this miniature doesn't look too bad and does have some resemblance to the new librarian, yeah, you might be better off getting your money and, well, trying to get one when it comes out, or wait until there's another batch of them coming out in, I don't know, several months time. But for me, obviously this hobby is all about making things, having fun making things, and obviously trying out painting techniques and painting. So yeah, that's why I obviously wanted to have a go at making my own librarian, just because, well, it's fun. And yeah, kit bashing, yeah, it's a lot of fun trying to find the parts you need, and when you can't find them, well, you have a go at using some green stuff. But I say I do need to practice a whole lot more with my green stuff technique, because I'm kind of pants at it, to be honest. And then yeah, putting loads of these purity seals. This dude obviously has fought valiantly in battle and does have quite a lot of these, and he has a few at the front which are super long. So they were just a case of chopping up these and then gluing on extra sort of end bits. And yeah, he's come out not looking too bad at all. And one of the last sort of things I needed to do, and he's got a little bit of a backpack on. That's one thing I don't really have much of, is backpacks. So I got this one. I'm not even too sure where this one has come from. This isn't a Space Marine one. If you guys can know where this backpack's come from, by all means leave it in the comments down below. As yeah, I'm not too sure where this came from, but again, good old bit of cutting, bit of gluing, stuck some purity seal, but just the sort of purity seal bit and not the sort of the words or commendations on, and then a few other little bits at the bottom of it. And yeah, the backpack came out quite good, not too bad. Obviously not exactly the same as the original one, but again, sometimes it is a case of making do with what I've got. So yeah, again, the green stuff, trying to make the extra round bit on this dude. Again, I know there are a lot of sets where it would have had this sort of bit. Yeah, so I'm still trying to build up my bits box when it comes to Space Marines. So guys, yeah, if you've got any sort of leftover bits you don't want, yeah, I would love you to send them to me, as I do enjoy kit bashing. It's something I would like to do more of. But yeah, sometimes I just don't have the bits to, well, to duplicate and replicate sort of other bits and pieces. But yeah, by all means guys, my email is down below. If you did want to send me anything, yeah, drop me an email. That'd be awesome. And if you wanted, I would mention you in the video as well, the source of whatever item it was I was using. And there we go. Yeah, he's not looking too bad. I say the paint job, when it comes up, I think this was probably the best stage of him looking white. And I've gone for white rather than my usual sort of priming black and then dry brush grey, dry brush white, just because I wanted to try something different. I love slap chop. It's always going to be my go-to method, just because I know I can get good results from it. And so when you're painting orcs, it's awesome, because orcs seem to have a lot of colour, a lot going on. Space Marines, well, they generally seem to be obviously the majority of whatever one colour their armour is, and then just a few bits of colour with, well, weapons, sometimes cloaks and the rest. But this dude, obviously primarily going to be the blue, and then just a few bits of colour here and there. So that's why I thought I'd try something different, and went with the white primer. And then yeah, using the good old army painter paint here, just going all over, yeah, with this blue. If you are new here guys and you like what I do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to be informed of all the videos that I produce. As I do produce them, well, there's no real set dates. I did try and do set dates, but that never seemed to sort of catch on. So yeah, so I basically just sort of make things, and then once it's made, I edit it and put it online. Although there is another video coming out very soon, as I've nearly completed a little sort of diorama, and that has Vashtor and Azrael, and it looks like the front cover of that the big sort of box that I've got that I showed right at the very beginning. I've kind of kit bashed them into that pose, nearly finished painting it, and yeah, I'm really pleased with how that's come out. So this is one thing I am absolutely pants on, and which is why I kind of rely on the speed paints, trying to draw or paint on edge highlighting. Yeah, I just can't seem to do it. I've got a really teeny tiny brush, but I must admit the brushes I've got aren't the best. Army Painter have kindly sent me some new brushes, which I should be receiving next week. I'm hoping they will improve me being able to do these edge highlights, because as you can see, yeah, I am useless. Yeah, I need to do more practice. I've watched lots of videos on edge highlighting, and it looks very simple, and I'm sure once you get the hang of it, it is very simple. But I think it's because I don't really do it, or I've never really done it. When I do try and do it, I just make a right old hash of it. So that's where I say this paint job on this dude, yeah, it certainly could be better, because I can't seem to get thin lines, no matter how hard I try. This may just be a case of getting more practice. It may be a case of using better brushes. Might be a better case of thinning down the paints. Or good old combination of all of the above. Either way, I will be trying more to do edge highlighting. As I say, the speed paints and slap chop method for me is perfect. It gets them to a very happy standard for me. But I do know they can be improved. And obviously I believe that's where the edge highlighting will come in. So as you may have seen, I have also printed out a new holder for the Citadel pots. So yeah, the paints I use, guys, I use a combination of whatever I've got, basically. The Army Painter Speed Paints is probably my main one to go to, as I do have a ton of their ones, especially their new sort of range, their 2.0. I was very fortunate enough to be able to be sent those well, a good few weeks ago now. So I've been using those lots, and yeah, I'm going to do a video showing how I've got on with them over the last sort of few weeks, and which ones are good and which ones are bad. As well, like most paints, I find some of the paints sort of work really well, and other ones just seem rather wishy-washy, or yeah, don't have the sort of colour they sort of say they have. And yeah, same with the Speed Paints 2.0. I certainly have my favourite colours that I use a lot more of, and some of the colours which yeah don't quite give the right effect. But yeah, this peach flesh is one of the good ones. Yeah, so yeah, this is definitely one that I would recommend as a good colour. So yeah, I've obviously done a bit of a peach colour underneath, and then use that as almost like a wash, really. And that's him done. Yeah, so as far as paint jobs go, I'm reasonably happy with this chap. It could be better, but probably not by me, or not by me at the moment. Say just because edge highlighting, I just can't seem to do it. Yeah, I'll make a right old mess. So he's now ready to go on his base. Like with most of the things I do, I love clear bases. I get all mine from Fluid 3D Workshop. There's a link in the description, guys. They do all kinds of bases, clear ones, normal black ones, round ones, square ones. Yeah, you name it, they do it. Okay, time to see him in all his glory. Well, I certainly had fun making this video, guys, and yeah, obviously I forgot to put his transfer on beforehand, but obviously I'll put it on now. And yeah, I'm pleased with how he's come out. As I say, I would have wished I could do the old edge lighting a bit better, but never mind. So yeah, guys, I use this Costronica pocket smoke machine for well, obviously when I take my pictures of my miniatures, it just really adds a great effect, especially obviously inside a little spaceship diorama. There's a link in the description, guys, if you want to go and purchase one of these, because well, these are awesome, and yeah, certainly make the picture taking to the next level. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave some comments down below what you thought about it, what you want to see me do in the future, or yeah, if there's anything else you want to sort of see me try, as I do love trying out new things. I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to all my lovely patrons for helping support the channel, as well as Chaos Cards for everything they do. And yeah, guys, there's a link in the description. Don't forget to check that out for Chaos Cards, as it does give you a discount on their miniatures. Okay, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.